before I add all the windows, I actually want to create my layers since I haven't done that yet. So I'm going to start on the layer property. I'm going to start a new layer. So I'm going to click on new layer, create my wall layer, and the color for that will be green. Click OK. Again, I'm going to create another new layer. I'm going to name that bathroom. And I'm going to select cyan. OK. And another layer. And I'm going to call windows. And you can pick another color. I'm going to pick red. And one more, I'm going to call it doors. And make it blue. And click OK. And I'm going to set the Windows layer as the current one. And I can close. So I'm going to change the objects that I have on the screen to a specific layer. So I'm going to open a window here, include everything, and change all that to the wall. Let's escape. Now the bathroom. I'm just going to select those items and click on bathroom. And actually the counter here, I'm going to put the same as bathroom. So I'm going to go back to the layer property. I'm going to click on bathroom, and actually I'm going to right click on it, and you see that I have a lot of options here. I'm going to rename my layer. I'm going to call it fixtures. I can close. And then I still have my window here. So I'm going to select that and click on windows, so I change to the layer windows. Okay, so let's add some windows here. We have some that are 4 feet wide and some that are 5 feet wide. So I'm actually going to create my 5 feet wide first. So I'm going to copy this one, right click, pick an endpoint, and place it somewhere. Now instead of redrawing everything, I copied that and I'm going to stretch. So click on stretch. I'm going to open a window. I'm not going to include my object fully. Right click. Now I can stretch that by a foot or 12 inches. So 12, press enter. So now I need to copy my window. So start the copy command, select your window, right click, pick a base point. I want a midpoint. So I'm going to pick the midpoint here. Then I'm going to snap from, pick this endpoint, move over to show the direction, type in the distance, 12 feet 9, and press enter. And enter again. So I'm going to do all the horizontals first. So I'm going to copy again. I'm going to copy the 5 feet window. So right click, pick a base point, which is a midpoint. So snap to midpoint. Then snap from, pick the corner, and show the direction. And type in the distance of 6 feet 6 inches. Press enter and repeat the command. Right click, snap to midpoint. You want the midpoint here. And snap from, pick the endpoint here, show the direction, and type in the distance, 6 feet 6 inches. Enter again, and we are done with the horizontal windows. Now we can rotate those windows and copy them. So I'm going to rotate my first window. So select the window, pick a base point, turn my ortho on, and pick a second point. So I'm just going to move this window over here, and then I can rotate. So start the rotate command, click on the object, right click once you're done with the selection, pick a base point, so pick this end point. And since I have my ortho on, I'm going to show the 90 degrees just by picking a point on the screen. We only have one vertical window that's 5 feet, so I'm just going to move this window here. So start your move command, select your objects, right click. Now we need a base point, so I'm going to snap to midpoint, pick the midpoint here. I'm going to turn my ortho off, and I'm going to snap from and pick this end point. So it's the corner here of my building. And I'm just going to show the direction. So I'm going to leave my mouse at the other corner and type 5 feet 6 and press enter. You can see that I have located my window. If you want to check the measurement, click on distance, and you can pick your midpoint here and your end point here, and you can see the distance that you have. Press escape. I'm gonna copy. Click on copy, select your window, right click, you're gonna select the midpoint, so snap to midpoint, and pick this midpoint. Now I'm gonna snap from, pick the corner, move over the other corner and type in the distance of 5 feet. So I'm just gonna move over here, keep my mouse there and type in the distance between that midpoint to the next one will be 10 feet. I'm gonna press enter. Now I'm gonna move, right click, snap to midpoint, pick the midpoint. I'm gonna snap from, pick the end point, move over the next end point and type in 7 feet and 5 inches. Now let's create the last two lines that we needed here at this counter. I'm going to change my layer to fixtures, start the line command, pick this end point, and pick the intersection point, and press enter to repeat the command, pick the end point, and pick the intersection point. Now we have to add doors. Click on the line command, pick the end point, type at 3 feet, angle 45 degrees, press enter, and then I can create an arc, and I want start, center, and end. So select that option. So I'm going to start at this end point, my center point, it's the other end point, and then the end. So you see that the layer is not correct, so I'm going to click on that and select the correct layer, which is door. Just open here, click on the layer that you want to make it correct. The other doors, we have two in here, so you start the line command at 2 feet 8, angle negative 45. Now you can create your arc, start point, center, and end point. Next one, start the line command, pick the end point at 2 feet 8 inches, angle 135, press enter, and enter again, and start your arc command, start point, center point, and end point. This one is 2 feet 4, 45. So start point, center, and end. And the next one is right here. And this one is 2 feet 8, angle 45. And create the arc, start point, center, and end point. And another one right here, 2 feet 8, and negative 45. And then the arc, start point, center, and end point. You may have noticed that I forgot to leave the opening for this one. So what we are going to do, we are going to create a line, snap from, press endpoint. Hoop over here and type the distance, 12 inches. And then type perpendicular and create that line. Then I'm going to offset that line by 3 feet, or 36 inches. Click on the line and pick the side. Press enter. I can create my door here. So it will be 3 feet. Angle 45. Then you create the arc the same way, start point, center point, and end point. So once I created my door, I can now trim inside. Start the trim command. Pick your boundary edges, right click, and select what you want to trim. Right click and enter, so you see that I trimmed everything. So I'm going to go back and create a line where I want. And then I can just change those lines to the wall layer. To finish our drawing, we still have one more line, so I'm going to change my layer to wall. And then I'm going to start my line command and add the line right here from end point to end point. And we are done with our floor plan. Thanks for watching.